Well, I'm glad I was persistent. So now I'm calling myself up. Are we losing some students because they have to study? Oh. Anyway, Leo DeRocher is quoted as saying, "Nice guys finish last." Well, I'll let you be the judge of the accuracy of his sentiment in a few minutes, because it is my honor to introduce to you a remarkable inductee into the Wall of Fame, who I believe refused Mr. DeRocher. He has had, as his bio in the program attests, a remarkable career. He is also, and I mean this as a compliment, a genuinely nice guy. Well, except when we are playing board games such as Trivial Pursuit, he has a strong competitive streak which comes across at such times. Then I would not describe him as nice. See, I've known this honoree my entire life, so I know from whence I speak. His bio skims his academic and professional bona fides, so I'm going to concentrate on who he is to me. Of course, I'm proud of his accomplishments, especially for his work on the space program and a number of awards not mentioned in the bio, such as the Terman Award given to the best electrical engineering student at Stanford. He won it both as a junior and a senior, the first ever to do so. But my experience comes as a younger brother, 8 years younger. And from that springs an issue I have with him. He doesn't look 8 years older. My freshman year at Stanford saw Peter's return after his tour of duty in the Army. He was back at Stanford for his master's degree. He came to visit me in my freshman dorm, and the resident assistant mistook him as a fellow freshman. It rankled me at the time, and it rankles me to this day. However, I cannot recall any sibling rivalry between us. Perhaps that is due to the 8-year difference. As a matter of fact, Peter was more than patient with me. One incident in particular a mother loved to recall. Peter had a collection of 78 records, and he was cataloging them, and he spread them out all over the living room floor. I, still an infant, apparently was enamored with the cracking sound made as I ran across that floor. Breaking those shellac records Peter was so carefully curating. Instead of throttling me, his only reaction, I am told, was to lament and to think I prayed for you. Now, we were raised in a standard Dolger home on Lawton Street between 16th and 17th Avenues, laid out as so many Sunset homes were. 4 people, 2 bedrooms, and 1 bathroom. One advantage of these homes is that you always knew where the bathroom was when you visited a neighbor. Peter and I shared a bedroom and learned to coexist quite well. Now, on the weekends, Peter would take me to the movies. The first-run movies then were all downtown. So we'd walk down 17th Avenue and catch the N. Judah, probably very near where Isaac grew up, to the Fox or the St. Francis or the Warfield. It was often a horror movie. Well, it was in 1954 when I was 8 and he 16 that we went down to see the sci-fi movie Them. It told the story of ants who had mutated into giant creatures because of radiation from A-bomb tests. These ants were terrorizing Los Angeles. It was very horrific to my mind. On our way home after we left the N. Judah, walking up 17th Avenue, Peter would get very quiet and let me walk ahead, and then silently come out of nowhere and yell, "Boom!" I ran the rest of the way home as fast as my stubby little legs could carry me. Now, Peter's never been an early riser, and that's true to this day. He works late in the evening. Many times I would see him in our dining room watching late-night television while studying his lessons from Lincoln. How many remember Don Sherwood? Did you know he had a late-night TV show? Well, he did, and there would be Peter doing his homework from Lincoln, watching Don Sherwood, and eating a bowl of cereal at 11:30 at night. By the way, Don Sherwood's real name was Danny Cohalan, and he went to Lincoln. He also went to almost every other San Francisco high school, as he was kicked out of all the others. Peter would study so late that it was impossible for him to get up early. As a matter of fact, he always missed homeroom at Lincoln. And when he had amassed a certain number of tardy slips, he was required to attend the breakfast club, which meant he had to get to school a half hour earlier. No surprise, he was tardy for those meetings as well. Now, for some reason or other, Peter never pursued a business career. Perhaps it was his first attempt at being an entrepreneur. He had a buddy at Lincoln, Buzz B.B. Miner, who convinced Peter they could make a killing selling Christmas trees in Fresno. The only thing close to being killed was Peter, who shivered throughout the dreadfully cold nights. I don't think they made much, if any, money. Do you remember? Did you make any money? I didn't think.
He made enough to pay me.
Well, that was good. But it was probably the only Christmas season you were glad when Christmas was over. Now, our father could be difficult to say the least. While proud of Peter's accomplishments at Stanford, studying electrical engineering, he was baffled one Christmas when Peter was unable to fix an inoperable front doorbell. Peter patiently explained that he was studying to be an electrical engineer, not an electrician. That, of course, led Father to one of his rants about the failure of modern education. I suspect to this day Peter could not repair that doorbell. Now, our father was a prominent horse racing official who traveled around the country for his work at various racetracks. This meant Peter was often the only male figure in our household, and as such, he was very protective of me. One night, when I was probably 4 or 5, and I still remember this, I was having fears of the boogeyman. I could not sleep. Peter went to the linen closet and got out the extra pillows, and he built a fort around me. Knowing I was protected, I fell asleep. I was grateful then, and I'm grateful to this day for his care and protection. And so it is that I am proud to call up to the podium a Mustang who refutes Leo DeRocher, because nice guys can finish first. My brother, Peter Whitehead.
Well, thank you, David. You did it exactly as I wrote it. Anyway, I want to thank the Alumni Association and Jonathan Wu, the president, for this wonderful honor. I'm impressed with all the other inductees. And so it's very much an honor to be up here. And I very much appreciate the fact that all of you have come out tonight, because all of us who have been up here on the podium, it means a great deal to us. So thank you. Where's Izzy? Hi, Izzy. Izzy works so hard behind the scenes, and I never realized it. Yeah, you understand. And I just wanted to thank her for all her very hard work over the years. I'd also like to thank my brother for that wonderful speech, and I very much appreciate him mentioning the Breakfast Club, one of my proudest achievements. You know, I actually didn't mind going there. I hated getting up early, but the guys I met, they were kind of a better class of people. These were the guys that, well, let's say they were not terribly interested in academics, very interested in cars, and they all had real girlfriends. One of the things that the space program taught me is, man, it is a millisecond between being a hero and a goat. Anything can happen in space, and it did on the program I was associated with. So, I don't remember exactly if it was Gary, but someone mentioned how important luck is. And I think we all realize how important just plain old good luck is. And that brings up another issue. I was very lucky to have two people who helped me so much these last few years. Writing software and defending it. One is Joe Walton, sitting over there, who was my partner in this adventure. He's not a Lincoln student, but you can still clap for him. And the other is Steve Porter, who just got me out of a real mess. And I very, very much appreciated it. Special thanks to my wife, who has supported me all these years, and to my two sons. That's my wife, Ann. I want to make sure that's the only one I've had. And my two sons, Stephen and Jeffrey, for all their support. It really means a lot to me. And I have one last thing to be grateful for. That we can still call our high school Abraham Lincoln. Thank you so much.
Doesn't sound like fun.
Is that right? But in high school.
Peter was so hard to wake up in the morning, our mother would take water in a glass and pour it on his forehead. It's true. All right, where's Kenyatta? Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, you're going to help us. Are any students still here? Would you all come up and lead us in the hymn? Yeah, well, whoever you think should.
Come on, Isaac, get up. Let's go.
Come on, Isaac.
Come on, let's go. Everybody who's a Lincoln grad should be standing up with this. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, Isaac, get up.
Come on,
You're a Lincoln grad, get up. Are you working Lincoln? You should be getting up here. This is our song. Right? That's what we're talking about. Come on, Bubba. Let's go. Hold on. Come on. You ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. High on a hilltop, mid sand and sea, Abraham Lincoln, we will honor thee forever. Forever. Our sons and daughters. Daughters. Ever on the trail, always will remember thee. Hail, 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 just to let you know, that's sung after every practice we do at Lincoln High School football. Every day. Every day. So it's awesome. That's why we do this. The fails. Great stuff.
Thank you, guys. I think we just found the lost chord. Well, ladies and gentlemen, students and honorees, scholarship winners, it's the end of our evening. Thank you so much. Everybody drive carefully home. And remember, you're always a Mustang.